Hello and welcome to a new installment of Embarrassing Fanfiction, in which I read to you terrible fanfiction that I wrote when I was 12 years old. In today's episode, we are reading Chapter 4 of The Next Generation at Hogwarts, which is the fanfiction I wrote about Harry, Ron, and Hermione's kids going to Hogwarts. And the last chapter, Chapter 3, which is entitled Lip-Locking with Cousins, Lily and Teddy made out with each other. So I think that's Teddy Lupin and Lily Potter. So that's fun. And now let's go on to Chapter 4. Chapter 4, The Sorting. The ride to Hogwarts was fun, in Lily's opinion. She was nervous but excited at the same time. That makes me think of this episode of Saturday Night Live where Zac Efron was hosting and he's like, I was nervous but excited, when they were doing a parody of High School Musical. Anyway, continuing. The wagons came to a stop right outside the gates of Hogwarts. Everyone piled out of the wagons and walked with their groups of friends up to the castle, following Professor Longbottom, the herbology teacher. Hey! I took some information from the book! Great. As they approached the large doors of the Great Hall, Professor Longbottom said, Welcome, first years. Before we proceed into the Great Hall, I just want to say good luck with the sorting. Everyone was lined up in alphabetical order by this time. As they walked into the room, all the older students stared at them. Lily was nervous because everyone was staring at her. A few seconds later, the headmistress came to the podium. Hello, my name is Professor Luna Lovegood, for those of you who don't know me. So I made Luna Lovegood a professor and the headmaster at Hogwarts. Great. Professor Lovegood's soft voice rang out. Now we will begin the sorting. The hat sang a great tune about the history of Hogwarts, and then everyone started getting called up. Teddy went up, and the minute the hat was on his head, he was put in Gryffindor. Soon it was Lucius Malfoy II's turn. Oh yeah, I didn't know his actual name. I think it's Scorpius, but I forgot what it was, so I just named him Lucius Malfoy II. Lily watched him shuffle up to the stool where the hat was sitting. The hat was put on, and it contemplated Lucius, and it said, Ah, another Malfoy here at Hogwarts. Your father and grandfather were Slytherins, and I see in your thoughts that you would like to be there too. So, Slytherin! Lucius happily shuffled off to the Slytherin table. Other names were called, and soon Albus Potter was called. He sat on the stool shivering with nervousness. Another Potter! Your father was a great fighter and a brave man, so you'll be in Gryffindor! Albus shouted with glee and ran to sit next to Teddy. James was called, and the minute the hat was put on, he was put in Gryffindor. He sat down happily with the others. Then Lily was called. She was waiting for this moment to come. I think I've just realized now that Lily is the main character of my story, so that's cool. Back to it. Then Lily was called. She was waiting for this moment to come. She was slowly walked to the stool and sat down. Professor Lovegood placed the hat on her head. 3 Potters this year. That's the most of a family we've ever gotten. But that's not true, though, because they've had, 7 Weasleys at once. Maybe they mean, in the same year is the most Potters they've had? I don't know what I meant. You seem brave and courageous like your father, and outgoing and witty like your mother. So, the hat paused. Please be Gryffindor, Lily pleaded softly. Gryffindor! In all caps with 10 exclamation points at the end of it. The sorting hat shouted. She jumped ecstatically up from the chair and went to sit with her family. Everyone else was called, and Hugo and Rose were put in Gryffindor as well. It was a nice day for everyone, and they dug into the meal in front of them. After the meal, all of the students proceeded to the common rooms of their houses. All the first years went to pick a bed. Lily walked over to one and bounced on it a tiny bit. A piece of paper flew out from underneath the pillow. It read in someone's beautiful calligraphy, This was my bed throughout all of my years here at Hogwarts. I know whoever takes this bed will enjoy its softness as much as I did. Learn a lot and have fun here at Hogwarts. Love, Ginevra Weasley. I spelled her name wrong. Ginevra Weasley. That's kind of funny because I did that with my lockers in high school. I wrote a little note on the locker. I said, This was my locker while I was here. Enjoy it. Treat it well. From Tori. Oh God. It's like I was telling the future of myself when I wrote this. Back to the story. Lily gasped. She was sitting on her mother's bed that she used at Hogwarts. Someone shouted out, Hey, new girls! Lily spun around as well as Rose, and they looked at the girl. She had a short cropped haircut. Her hair was midnight black with bubblegum pink highlights. No one has used those beds in 20 years, just in case you wanted to know, the girl said. Lily saw Rose had a piece of paper in her hand, too. My mom used the bed I'm going to use. Isn't that strange? Lily said. Me too. I do think that's really strange. Why don't we find the guys and tell them about it, Rose said. Lily agreed and walked up to the common room. Albus, Hugo, Teddy, and James all had pieces of paper in their hands too. Look what I found! I'm using Dad's bed, Hugo's using Uncle Ron's, Teddy is using Grandpa Remus's bed, and James is using Grandpa Sirius's bed. That is so strange, Albus said. But not really, because I made all of the characters do the same thing! Wow! The girls said the same thing happened to them. Tonight was one strange evening. They all decided to write their parents about what happened. They all went back to their bedrooms to continue unpacking and to write the letters. Lily was in awe. She would never forget this night. In Lily's letter, she wrote to her mother, Dear Mother, we arrived at Hogwarts a little while ago. All of us were put in Gryffindor, and something strange happened to all of us when we got to the bedrooms. I found the bed that you used when you were in Hogwarts. Isn't that weird? Well, I'm going to finish unpacking. Love you, Lily Potter. Lily sealed the letter and asked Rose if her letter was finished. Rose said yes, and Lily took both letters to the owlery. She gave the addressed letters to 2 owls, and they flew off. Lily went back to the Gryffindor common room to find her brothers and her cousin waiting for her. Oh, it's gonna get good. Lily, do you want to finish that dare? James asked. Lily nodded and sat down with the others. Okay, James, I dare you to go over to that shy girl over there and ask her to come over here and make out with you. Of course, Lily said. James huffed and walked over to the girl. She was a small girl with bleached blonde hair and sparkling blue eyes. When James walked over to her, she seemed interested and followed him. As the two of them sat down, she leaned in to kiss him, and they sat there kissing for a while. Of course they did! When they broke apart, Lily said, Nice job, James! Everyone made cat calls. The girl sat there, blushing fiercely. What's your name? Hugo asked. I'm Liana. I'm the headmaster's daughter, Liana replied. Rose seemed interested in her. She walked over to Liana and they started talking. They were deep into conversation. Lily decided that she would read Twilight instead of just sitting around. She found a large chair and sat by the fire, warming herself. I forgot that she was reading Twilight on the train. She heard feet padding on the floor and someone taking a breath. Hi, a boy's voice said, shuddering after taking the deep breath. Lily looked up from her book to see an extremely cute boy looking at her. He had jet black hair that shone in the firelight and bright blue eyes that twinkled mysteriously. Hi, I'm Lily, and you are? Lily asked the boy. I'm Tom, Professor Longbottom's son. You must be Lily Potter. My father has never spoken badly about your father. He was a heroic man, Tom said. They shook hands and talked for a while about the relations between their parents and their classes. Coincidentally, they had every class with each other. Lily was starting to get a crush on Tom Longbottom, and she knew that she would enjoy Hogwarts with him around. Aw, cute! So that's the end of that chapter, and that was really cute. And I have a disclaimer at the top of the chapter that says I own the made-up characters. So yeah, Tom Longbottom and Liana Lovegood are my characters. That's really cute. Thank you so much for watching. You can watch my latest video here, subscribe here, follow me on Tumblr, Twitter, and Instagram here, and in the description, DFTBA, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!